are getting here with a topic that is a kind of a popular topic these days. I see many people in the guitar world talking about it, and I would also say a very controversial topic. Some people among guitarists and guitar makers, dealers, give it a lot of importance, others less, and others even not at all. Even we find people who go so far as to buy or not to buy a guitar depending on what frequency the guitar is in. And the question is this correct? Does it make sense? Does it have that importance? We will see that at the end of this video, where I'm going to give you my opinion on this issue. The first thing we are going to see here is how to know the frequency of our guitar. Or in other words, the note our guitar is at once we hit the top of the guitar. Normally it's not on an exact note, but in between two notes. That's why when we say frequency, we describe it more precisely. In this way we find that we hear this guitar is between F and F sharp, or between G and G sharp, or G sharp and A, etc. There are several ways of knowing this, some more precise than others. A common way some people use is to tap the top of the guitar on the bridge area, and at the same time you need to covering the strings of the guitar. You can do it with your hands, so that the strings do not sound and give frequencies you don't want to come out. You just want the frequency the top is producing. And then you put a tuner in front of it to see what note the tuner tells us. Another way we see people use is to sing a frequency in the sound hole area of the guitar. And we see that when the guitar reaches a frequency, let's say that it vibrates with more intensity. We notice that the whole guitar vibrates when we reach that note. And that frequency where it vibrates most intensely is the frequency to which our guitar is tuned. Then we repeat that sound produced by us in front of the tuner and find which note it marks. This method may not be very precise, because bringing our mouth closer to the rosette area, perhaps we are already influencing in some way the frequency that comes out. Okay, this is not very precise, but again it can give us an idea of around which note this guitar is in. I already told you that there are several ways. One of the best, and let's say professional and more precise, would be using microphones and after tapping the top of the guitar and looking through softwares or hardwares specialized in measuring frequencies, then see what they tell us about it. But I'm going to tell you about a way that I use, that I find for now perhaps the best way to measure it in a more or less quick way and within everyone's reach, without having to use microphones and specialized devices and computer softwares. In the apps on our Android phones, we find one app that is very interesting. It's called Spectrate, and it gives us waves of the frequencies that are captured by this app when hitting the top of our guitar. The interesting issue here is that it not only determines the guitar top frequency, but also the frequency of the guitar's air resonance body. And we can know it by the high peaks in the frequency waves that this app collects. The first peak at around 100 shows the air resonance frequency, and the second peak at around 200 shows us the guitar top frequency. The air resonance inside the guitar body frequency is also interesting to know. It is another piece of information that we can measure and take into account if this is our intention with it. Unfortunately, I think I'm not wrong in saying that as of today, this app does not exist on the Apple iOS platform. It is available only in the Android apps platform. And I also cannot tell you any similar app that provides this mediation with a certain quality. If you know it, it would be interesting if you told us about it in the comments of this video. There are other frequency measurements in other parts of the guitar that some guitar makers, in conversations with them, take. In fact, I have come across some guitar makers who take frequencies from many parts of the guitar during the construction process. Another that is quite interesting is also measuring the back of the guitar frequency. So let's now go to the part about why we take these measures. Why may be interesting to know these frequencies that we have taken from our guitar? Well, there are different reasons. One of them is that some guitar makers think that the relationship between the frequencies of the top and the air resonance and back, or simply between the top and back, or only a single frequency measurement of them, can give a reason for problems may arise in a guitar when it's completed. For example, about why some guitars have wolf notes, that I already talked about them in another video here in our Madera YouTube channel. Once again, I tell you that it is a controversial issue, and that I'm not saying that I totally think for sure that this could be the cause of any problem of this type that a guitar may have. But I do tell you because yes, I have seen that some guitar makers take these measures also for that purpose. Also, some guitar makers take frequencies measurements of pieces of woods they are going to use later on the guitar. For example, the top, when it is just a rectangular piece of spruce or cedar wood, or the back panels too, or even the bracing materials they are going to use for the guitar. They take the frequency of them for measuring wood properties. Personally, for me, it is interesting to take this measurement to determine a construction style and a character of the instrument, and even also something related to its sound. If one guitar is around F sharp, I can see one style of construction there, and if another is at a higher frequency, let's say between G and G sharp, I can see can be related to another style of construction and another character of the instrument. But for me, and it's important to say this, the frequency of a guitar does not determine the quality of a guitar. Normally, I see that guitars in which the guitar maker uses higher thicknesses of wood and therefore tend to be heavier, the frequency goes up to G, G sharp, or even reaches A, and others that use thinner thicknesses and are therefore lighter, they tend to be around F sharp, F, and even between E and F. Some months ago, for example, I played a Marcelo Barbero from the 50s that it was between E and F. Curious to see that guitar makers who do not care at all about measuring the frequency of their guitars and who do not give it importance, all the guitars of this guitar maker are almost always around one frequency. This is why I say that you can see through it a construction style of the instrument. As I said at the beginning of this video, I have found guitarists and collectors, etc., give so much importance to this that they can determine whether they are going to buy a guitar or not depending on the frequency these guitars have. In my opinion, this is wrong, because I repeat, for me the quality of a guitar, I do not see that it is determined by its frequency. And even if you are looking for a character of sound or construction style or character of the instrument, a guitar can always surprise you and be at a frequency that you believe is not going to have the character that you are looking for. And then when you play it, you do find it. So to finish this video, I repeat that it is a very controversial topic and that can give rise to very different opinions about its importance, whether it has it or not, about what can determine this frequency measurement of a guitar.